hit the link at the bottom of the screen to watch the entire show. It's tight and sharp, and I think you guys will like it. And our guys are running hot right now in NCAA football. Get paid in full. All right, let's move to the Thursday night spot. Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech. I went on, made a move on Georgia Tech, and it was a loss here. They're coming off their fourth loss in 5 games. They put up 56 points in a win over Duke. Follow that up with just 13 in a 2013 loss at NC State. Georgia Tech 3-6, 3-5 in the ACC. Going up against Pittsburgh 5-5, 4-5 in the ACC. Bobby Dodd Stadium, Atlanta, Georgia, 53 Fahrenheit, clear, 2 miles per hour. Pittsburgh 6.5-point favorites. That's where it's sitting, right across the board. This total at 53.5 or 54. Pittsburgh was off last week. They were last seen on November 28th in that 52-17 loss at Clemson. Trevor Lawrence came back. Before that loss, though, they looked impressive. Back-to-back victories. First 41-17 at Florida State, and then 47-14 at home over Virginia Tech. Pickett's looked strong in those 2 games, and then they had that tough game against Clemson when Trevor Lawrence was just chomping at the bit to get back. Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech. Let's go with CMAC. You feel like there's a move that can be made here?
Yeah, I think the move here is with Pitt. I think they bounce back. This is just at 7 right now. I like Kenny Pickett, and when Georgia Tech loses this year, they lose. They get blown out. I think all their losses are double-digit losses. They're just a young team. COVID's hit them. They just haven't been good. They're one of those teams that are really young, new coaching system. They're not the old, Georgia Tech run it wishbone. They got this whole spread out offense, which over time I think they'll be a good team in the next few years. But I like Pitt in this spot, and I'd love it if it was under a touchdown. But I'm rolling with Pitt here and Pickett -7.
And you have 7s because I see almost 6.5s predominantly.
Do you?
Yeah, is it not in Vegas right now? It's 7s?
I have 7s all in Vegas. Let me look global.
It is starting to get juiced. So Bet365 has the 6.5 at -115 right now.
I see 1.
So interesting that this will be very likely at 7 very soon. If you want to get it under a touchdown, you should probably pull the trigger. CMAC wanting to back Pittsburgh as a road favorite here. The real Jolly Roger saying Pitt would be favored by more, if not for the Clemson game. John Ryan, what do you think of CMAC back in Pittsburgh here?
Well, I would agree with CMAC here. I'm looking at the betting lines myself. I'm seeing a lot of 6.5s, paying the extra big, 115. But so far, this is early action, but 80% of the money is on Georgia Tech, and the ticket numbers are split evenly at 50-50. 453 tickets have been bet, which is not a lot. Usually these games end up between 2,500 and 3,500, and this is a sampling of 20 different sports books. So it is surprising to me that Georgia Tech is seeing some significant money coming in, and I'm not really sure why, because everything that Connor said is true. The one thing I wanted to touch on this show is taking a look at the season totals by conference and compare them to last year. We've often talked about road teams having the advantage with no fans in the stands. So in the ACC this year, home teams are 53-27 straight up. The over has won the money 43-32.
Wow.
For 57% winners with an average total of 58 points. The average home line has been a favorite of -5.9. The home favorites are 42-35 with 2 pushes for 54.5%. And then this compares to last year, if you can remember all those numbers, where the average line was 3.6. This year it's 2.3 points higher. The total last year was 55.1 for the entire season, and we're looking at 58. So I think all those things that we were talking about earlier in the season are now reality. The totals are higher, the home favorites are more, and the road team has the advantage. So in the ACC last year overall, the home teams were 83-92 with 6 pushes for 47% winners, and this year it's flipped. So I just want to throw that out as we hit each conference. I think it's interesting.
Very interesting. I loved hearing those stats. It just follows up with what we've been talking about. With that being said, you are comfortable with Pittsburgh as a road favorite with no crowd at Georgia Tech.
Yeah, at this point, I am. I'm like I said, I'm very curious why money's coming in on Georgia Tech for all the reasons that Connor Mack said. That's illogical to me, but it's day one. So by Thursday, we could see 70% of the money on Pittsburgh. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Okay, I will be asking you guys for best bets on Thursday and Friday. So we have a nice Friday card, so don't feel like you have to be forced into using Thursday's best bets.